Hi everyone.
Hi, Giri.
Hi. Sir, can you guys hear me properly?
Yes, Giri. Loud and clear.
Right. Yeah. So
So can we wait for 2 more minutes?
I think students are joining. We will wait for a couple of minutes. Hi, Pujala. Good evening.
Can we wait for 2 more minutes?
Hi, sir. Good evening. I think yes, we should wait. Pujala, nice to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see so many students joining.
Yeah, that's what. So, shall we wait for 2 3 minutes more?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Punita. Hi.
Hi, Mario. Good evening.
Mario, hi.
Great. Hi,
Nice to see you. Hi.
Great to see you.
Hi, Mario.
Hi. So we will wait for 4 more minutes. So by 7:10, I think we should.
By 7:10, yes.
Yeah, that should be like that. I think it's time, Anita. It's 7:10. We should, start. We should start. To join on time, please. You're on mute. Anita, you're on mute.
Yes, yes, I'm sorry. Hello, everyone. Very good evening to all of you. So it's such a pleasure to have all of you here. I'm Dr. Punita from CareerTiQ. So first of all, I thank our CEO and MD, Dr. Giridharan, for giving me this opportunity to deliver welcome address. So I'm very excited to welcome our chief guests, Mario David, Vice President from JP Morgan Chase & Co. and Ms. Kushala, Program Manager from Fortinet Academy. They're going to share their valuable insights on cybersecurity, talent landscape, and also global certifications. Hearty welcome to our CEO and MD, Dr. Giridharan, who has been constantly inspiring and motivating us throughout. I'm very delighted to welcome all the student community who are very young, energetic, and vibrant, and the respected deans, HODs, directors of various institutions, faculty members of various institutions. Thank you. My wonderful colleagues, and welcoming my wonderful colleagues who has been supporting me throughout for conducting this webinar. I'm just handing it over to Sharada. Wishing you all a wonderful and amazing learning session.
Thanks, Punita. Thanks for that wonderful start. Good evening, one and all. Today, I have a quick round of introduction for our chief guests. To start with, we have Mr. Mario David, Vice President, JP Morgan and Chase. Mario has over 20 years of expertise in organizational development and change management. He has demonstrated success in implementing measurable learning approaches that enhance organizational value. Mario, welcome for today's session. I would now request you to start the event.
Thank you so much. I think it's a wonderful platform. And I'm really happy, extremely delighted to be associated with Giridhar, who's also a personal mentor, friend in all the ways. And we take a lot of guidance and support these parents. I think soon Giridhar's flag will be flying high when it comes to cybersecurity and technologies. The work that he's been doing is so applaudable. And I think that's a need of an hour. So let me start and quickly talking what is future ready talent. I think I would start this word called future ready talent. Talent is there. Talent is everywhere. Every college has talent. There's no doubt that colleges are making a lot of efforts to groom, to nurture, to guide talent. But here the big question is, are the talent future ready? Future ready for the country, future ready for the world itself. Now, when I talk about future ready, there are a couple of aspects that I would like to bring forward is uh, where the country is leading to. So I'm more concerned about India. Being a veteran myself, I'm more concerned about India, where the country is leading to. When we talk about digital India, when we talk about demonetization, and when we talk about a huge governing body called the NASCOM, and the core initiative, NASCOM recently has recruited more than 7,000 people in the organization. And the core objective is to how digital India could go. Along with how digital India could go, how secured the digital transaction could be. So that is something which I would want to highlight over here. So when we talk about going digital completely, and when NASCOM has come completely into now with the new government that has been formed. They want to go fully into digitalization. So the demand for cybersecurity professionals who can help companies or who could help, I would not use a smaller word, companies is a smaller word, but who would help the country to achieve the digital transformation without compromising on security. I'm going to repeat this phrase again. How the young generation, how the cybersecurity professional can help the country to achieve the digital transformation without compromising security. So that's the biggest question that we have. Because I think me, Giridhar, Punita, we will be the last guy who's going to use an debit card. I think the next generation is not going to see a debit card. I think almost now, if I look at the transaction, it's all over the phone. It's all digital. So NASCOM is already worried about it. The digital India is already worried about it. Okay, yeah, fine. From 2017 till 2020, core target is to make people go digital. They never expected 57 percentage of our country will move on to digital. So that is a they expected at least 10 to 15% to be digital, and second phase, third phase. But it was so rampant that even if I want to buy two bananas for 10 rupees, I need a phone now. And I'm sure everybody will agree to this. So now the biggest worry that NASCOM has is how can we build a strong cybersecurity professional? What is the demand for cybersecurity professional is so high, how they could help the country and the organizations and the companies to achieve the digital transformation without compromising security. So this is the first thought that I would want to share. Are you future ready for that? The first question is that. The second is there's a chat option, I think. So can anybody type what is GDPR? Does anybody knows? I just want to make it a little interactive. Can anybody type on the chat what is GDPR? I'm going to type the question over here. What is GDPR? Question. So I sent a chat message. Let's see, out of so many people have logged in, somebody's giving me the answer. What is GDPR? Did anybody reply, or is my system slow? Come on, team, what is GDPR? I got it. Now I'm getting a lot of messages. General Data Protection Regulation. Fantastic, fantastic, excellent. Nice, fantastic. That's great. That's great. I'm sure you all know the GDPR. They were not able to implement it until 2019. Okay, so companies across the world have been preparing to safeguard the database from cyber crimes, from cyber security, and how they can comply with the GDPR rules that have been laid out by the cybersecurity experts in our country. Now, many organizations are not able to comply with GDPR because they are so vulnerable. Okay, so this is a very, very important aspect I want to bring. Again, linking GDPR to future ready talent. Okay, so one thing I linked future, are you future ready for India to getting transformed to a 80% digital India? Number one, because we don't have cybersecurity experts. Okay, when everything goes online, the vulnerability is 100%. Your exposure is 100%. The same way, the companies are struggling. I personally know so many companies are struggling because they do not have the sufficient manpower, sufficient technology to handle cyber crimes. They are not able to comply with this GDPR regulations at all. Okay. So the question to you is, can we enable these companies, the future talent? Are we future ready enough? Are we cybersecurity strong? Are we so strong to understand what is the vulnerability? Are we doing something parallel along with your education? Of course, you have the base, your engineering is the base, but are you preparing yourself by adding more feathers in your hat to be future ready? I have no answers, but I'm gonna make you to think. My only objective is to make you to think. The third aspect which I would like to bring here, I don't know anybody knows about it, but can anybody? Let me ask you a question. What is what is WannaCry? What is WannaCry? Okay, I've typed another question here. What is WannaCry? Wow, amazing. Ransomware. Fantastic, fantastic. I think we have a lot of excellent intelligent folks over here. So WannaCry is a ransomware, and I'm sure you know most of you would already know this. How that particular ransomware infected more than 2 lakhs computers in 150 countries, and all this happened in 2 days. 2 lakhs computer, 150 countries in 2 days was affected, and the loss of that was close to $2 trillion. Okay, that shows how vulnerable the data is, and the pressing need and the pressing demand for strong cybersecurity professionals, for strong cybersecurity laws, and strong cybersecurity systems. Now, these are the three important key points that I want to touch base over here. Okay, to repeat what we discussed over here is one was we spoke about digital India, how it is transforming. Second, we spoke about GDPR, and third, we spoke about monetary transfer. I brought these three real-time examples. I am not talking here anything on air or hypothetical. Because in JP Morgan, we strongly believe talking with data, talking facts. So these three are strong examples of the country and the need and the demand for security, cyber security professionals within the organization. Now, we are a 250 years old bank, JP Morgan. As we are speaking, trillions of dollars transaction happens. People are using somewhere in the world the credit card, the debit card, mutual funds, investments, online transactions, checks, continuously the transactions are happening. The only success that we have is the strong technology that we invested when it comes to cybersecurity and the strong people who are working to run this technology. Yes, if there is a technology, you definitely need people to handle this technology and to monitor. So coming back, now that I touched based on people who is handling this technology, I'm sure the next speaker would add more value and more insights on that, on what are the courses and all that. Let me talk about certain important jobs that is involved when it comes to people in cybersecurity and technology. The one I will start with the first job that is very prominent that we have is a security architect. Okay, an average salary of a security architect gets paid in between 17 to 22 lakhs. But a security architect is like an extremely important thing who takes care of the planning, the implementation, the testing of security systems. They're responsible for protecting the data. It's a very, very important job there. Under which you also have a network security architect as well. A network security architect plays a critical role in improving the security strength of the architects or the enterprise that you're working on. So the first job that I want to touch base is on a security architect. Of 17 to 22 lakhs is the salary that happens. The second opportunities that we have generally is the cyber security engineers. The cyber security engineer gets paid in between 12 to 15 lakhs they get paid. So these engineers, they design the network security, they monitor the layers of different cyber security that the organization is having. When this role gets matured, the cybersecurity engineer gets matured, the pay scale changes. You can add more feathers to your hat by doing a lot of Azure, AWS, cloud certification, a lot of other certifications. The third I could talk about is cloud security. I'm sure everybody knows even your iPhone is connected to cloud, everything is connected to cloud. So cloud security specialist is another role that we have because everything, the increased reliance on cloud storage, on cloud security, the demand has become high. Nobody, I think I still remember the day when I used to run and buy a 1 terabyte hard disk, which costed around 8 to 10,000 rupees. WD is, I still remember the brand was WD hard disk, 8 to 10,000 rupees. Then there's another company called Scan Disk or something, Scan Disk. They came up with a 4,000 rupees hard disk. I still have them with me. But now there's nothing, everything is on cloud. So cloud security engineers are an important work stream that we have to maintain, to continuously improve the cloud-based network, the cloud-based data, to safeguard the data and the resources that are on cloud. Mostly, the platforms that the cloud security uses is AWS and Azure, with the expertise that a cloud security engineer will have. And of course, they also try to protect a lot of threats against assets and data when it comes to cyber threats. So that's the third role. So we spoke about security architect, we spoke about cyber security engineer, we have spoke about cloud security. The next we will talk about is an ethical hacker. I'm sure hacker sounds a very exciting term. We do a lot of hackathons. Many colleges participate in hackathons, and we handpick those students who are good in hackathons as well. So ethical hacker are very vital addition to any organization's IT infrastructure or an IT team. Definitely need an ethical hacker over here. They're very uniquely competent in understanding an actor's mind. So they're also an hacker, but only thing they ethically try to understand an actor's mind and prevent. They use logics and variables and intuitive knowledge and skills to prevent anything being hacked within the organization. Right? They simulate cybersecurity attacks to identify the vulnerability in the system. They themselves will attack a system to see what would be the vulnerability and make the system strong. So this is another important role of ethical actor. Then we have penetration tester. Then we have forensic science. If somebody is interested in forensic science, that's another amazing aspect when it comes to cybersecurity, especially digital forensic analyst. Okay, in forensic science, there's something called a job called digital forensic analyst. So these experts, they apply digital forensic skills. Okay, so plethora of data that is there, they try to analyze, they try to understand, and they do a lot of courses on computer forensic analyst certifications, and many courses are there if you're interested in forensic science. Then you have an incident manager, you have a coding, you have a malware analyst. Let me tell about malware analyst. So malware analyst is generally they identify and examine cyber threats, mostly the viruses, the worms, the bots, the trojans. All this is where the malware analyst. So literally almost 6 to 7 jobs that I spoke about, right? And there are many more jobs that are going to come up. For example, coding, for example, cybersecurity manager, for example, incident manager, security analyst, security consultant, penetration tester. Then we also have threat modeling analyst. So there are many opportunities that are there within one organization, and it's going to grow more and more, and there's going to be more requirement when the world is moving digital. So on that note, I would like to stop here by saying that the biggest question is what is future ready talent? Coming back to the biggest question is what is future ready talent? Okay, how can you connect your skills to employability? Comes to the field of cybersecurity. So you have a set of skills. There is a opportunity within the country and outside the country as well, right? But let's talk about within the country. Within India, so the way India is growing already, we're expected to be the fourth biggest GDP in the world, and Germany is going to go down pretty soon. So the way India is growing and the way India is growing digitally, there is a huge opportunity that is there. And so, how can you connect your skills to the current employability opportunities when it comes to cybersecurity in India. And that's where I think we have another speaker over here. She will talk more about the different courses. She will enable you to understand how you could add those fellows to your hand. So this is what I would like to share, and I would once again like to thank CareerTiQ. I would like to personally thank Giridhar, Rita, the entire team here for giving this opportunity, and it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mario. I think the introduction given by you definitely makes all of us uh, think through it. We are indeed, all of us are very thoughtful about whatever you said. So, with that, our next guest for today is Ms. Kusala, Program Manager, APAC, Fortinet. Ms. Kusala is an influential leader in the education and academy domain with 15 plus years of experience. She has had her hands predominantly in training management and operations for both industry and academia. Kushala, I would now request you to take over.
Hey, thanks, Sharda. And thank you, team. Mario, it was an excellent introduction. So we know exactly what are the expectations. You have actually cleared most of the minds, like why they are attending the today's webinar. So I know by end of the session, we'll have a lot more questions from the enthusiastic minds. So I see people typing answers, ransomware, and that information that you have asked. So, all right. So welcome, team. Okay. So why I am here is, you have actually listened to Mario about the kind of job opportunities on the cybersecurity space, the kind of threat landscape that we have in the industry now. So I belong to Fortinet. So Fortinet, if anyone has already heard about it, or if you are hearing for the first time, we are actually the leaders as per the Gartner's Magic Quadrant in the cybersecurity space. Whether it is SD-WAN, whether it is secure convergence networking or network security, any domain with respect to cybersecurity and security, we have we are the leaders as on date, and it's a 24 years old organization which is led by two Chinese brothers. So we have a large landscape of customer base, about 750,000 customers across the globe, and there's about 13,000 plus people working across the world. Our major headquarters is based out of Sunnyvale, and we have our development centers and support centers across multiple countries, right? So you see, most of the organizations, whether I could say right from a small Apollo pharmacy outlet to a large corporate network, they are backed up by Fortinet devices. Because I myself, when I started my career, I used to sell Fortinet firewalls to customers. We used to help them configure their policies and whatever they wanted their firewall to do, maybe act as a UTM appliance and all. So that was the stage right from like 2000, uh, close to 2000 onwards. And we are now top rated in terms of having 9 out of 10 customers in each vertical using Fortinet in their backbone network. Whichever is the domain, whether it is healthcare, manufacturing, retail, financial, telcos, right? Well, this is something interesting where we have an um, opportunity of working with universities and colleges where we welcome the students to work on R&D atmosphere where they can help us with patents. So you see, Fortinet themselves have been a cybersecurity innovator with more than 957 patents. And compared to the competitive landscape, right? So what exactly does Fortinet want? So what is that we are trying to do? Why are we aligning with people like Mario, people like Giridhar, and what exactly Fortinet wants to achieve? So from the sustainability point of view, we have close to around, let's say, 50 plus products in 40Fortinet, starting from a firewall to a manager, which can manage multiple devices in a data center, which can analyze the data. We have Fortinet wireless access points. We have security orchestration devices. You name it. So out of 50 plus products, close to 15 products use generative AI as a security assistant. So from the market point of view, we are already on top of what the industry is requiring. There is a lot of demand and we are trying to meet the demand. Now, what are we going to do with all these developments that we are doing? We want to give it back to the society. So that is what we are trying to do through our CSR initiative, where we are trying to be um, more vigilant in terms of making the products which are environment friendly, where you can see here where we use ASIC based architecture in our product line, so which uses less power consumption. We recycle the packaged materials, and one way of contributing to the climate basically. The second one is promoting responsible business through our manufacturers being more compliant and maintaining the ethical standards. So we are like, ma'am, we are on ISO certifications. Then the important factor is addressing the cybersecurity risk to the society. So you can see we have collaborated with a lot of global organizations like World Economic Forum, Cybersecurity Policy and Law. Like these policies change day in and day out. Like you have seen Mario mentioning that there was a threat or a ransomware, and today you see um, lot of phishing attacks. Many of us have got compromised their Facebook accounts or their Twitter accounts, and people using your name for asking money within your friend circles. So these are only small things, but if you see on the other side, there are a lot of bigger things which are happening in an organization from a threat point of view. So we are working with these organizations to understand the threat landscape, what are the expectations, and what how we can bring in more kind of collaborative solutions for them. So that's where we have MITRE Ingenuity. This is a forum every year where a lot of students, a lot of faculties register, and they participate in this kind of hackathons where they try to address particular hacking scenarios, and then um, give us some sort of insights basically. And then regionally, how this forensics is going to help us on the cyber threat space. So it is one way of collaborating with these organizations. Now, having said that, these three aspects are very good. Like we are respecting the environment, we are working with global organizations, we are promoting responsible business, all good. So what are we again doing? Something unique is that we know the market, we know the industry, where it is going. Are we future ready? Is the question. Now, the thing is, someone has to actually I mean, put a bell in the cat's neck, right? So it is like we have actually come up with an option of um, creating awareness, providing training and certification programs for the students who are uh, continuing their education, UG and PG programs. By the time they are ready for a job, we want them to actually get acquainted with what is happening in the industry. You may have chosen computer science engineering, IT, and usually the students will get a good understanding about their career, how do they want to shape up their career, what they want to do in life, and all during their engineering days, right? So that is the place where we want to give an exposure to them in terms of give an exposure to them in terms of understanding, okay, there is a cybersecurity domain now, and this is what you can achieve. And through this kind of trainings, there is importance of inclusion and diversity, more women coming into cybersecurity space. So these all aspects we try to explain in their student days. What are we going to achieve with that is we are going to reduce the skill gap. By the time you complete your engineering, you understand what you want to do, and you come out, you figure out, okay, I want to do this training, I want to do that certification. There is a lot of time that you're going to spend unaddressed, which we want to um, basically bridge that kind of time gap and the skill gap, and take you to the need where you are actually a right fit. So one of our primary sustainable option is that we try to provide trainings and certification programs through our Fortinet Academy partner program. And ideally, after this particular training and certification, you will be working with some of our Fortinet tax support engineers, and you must be in some of the implementation projects. You are going to work with most of our partners and distributors and customers, which I told you, like 750,000 customers in our database, helping them implement, helping them configure their networks. Okay, this is something interesting which I wanted to show. Like way back about 20 years ago, there was only two domains where it is like a system administrator and a network administrator. The system administrator is more or less onto the Microsoft Active Directory, domain controllers. He only uses the Exchange, email configurations, those kind of stuff, user level and a server level. The network admin is a person who used to um, configure antivirus in the desktop laptops, and have a basic level of firewall at a gateway level to protect, right? So it was like about 20 years ago. Now it has all changed. A network architect or a network analyst or a network security engineer has to have a proper understanding about what is happening on the exchange side, because a mail can come, a phishing email can actually bring a threat to your network. So at a gateway level, when you are actually getting a spam email and all, those kind of things has to give you an alert. So it is actually more towards, the world has moved towards more of a convergence networking. From a convergence networking to a secure networking where you have multiple platforms, like you have now AI driven solutions, you have segmentation and zero trust, which you're talking, and then IoT, operation technology, right? So you see whatever domains that Mario mentioned, like you can be a network security architect, security analyst. You can analyze the data and understand the threat landscape. And then, let's say, from a user point of view, if you have been compromised, then there's a more information on how you're using this data and connecting the dots from a threat point of view, right? So now it is no more a differential role like a network admin or a system admin kind of thing. Everyone has to understand and learn everything, right? Some interesting facts. Sorry, I'm just moving my cursor here and there. So, okay, so you see, global ransom damage cost, as mentioned, it was just 2 lakh computers and about 2 trillion US dollars, projected to be 265 billion by end of 2031. So we need more cybersecurity engineers. We need more cybersecurity professionals, right? And is there a real opportunity? Yes. Most of the organizations, most of the startups, they have started hosting their infrastructure on cloud. Everything they, their data is saved on the cloud. So more or less, you need cloud security specialists who are cybersecurity aware and who know how to attack a network and who knows how to defend their networks, attack a network from a ethical point of view, right? So there is a place for certified ethical hackers there, right? So there are opportunities which are like exclusively cybersecurity ready. And thanks to our All India Council of Technical Education, considering the threat landscape and globally these kind of scenarios, there is a skill gap report. If you can, I can just paste it on the chat window after this. You can go through. There is a skill gap report which has been identified globally and which talks about why there is a need for a cybersecurity specialist and what are they going to do. And region wise, in APAC, how is the threat landscape? In European Middle East, how is the threat landscape? In Americas, how is it? And what is the expected expectations from the hiring point of view? Why do HRs or why do the organizations look for a certified professionals? Basically, skill is different and knowledge is different, right? So whatever you are studying in your engineering, those are all prerequisites make you qualified to get the required skill set as per the industry standards. So if you see the kind of opportunities we have in the market, the kind of organizations which are supporting you, kind of backing you up with the kind of information, certification, and programs, there is a clear cut evidence that um, Ministry of Education, NASCOM kind of organizations, CareerTiQ kind of organizations are really working hard towards bridging the skill gap. And it is exclusively in every region, whether it is India, whether it is Australia, New Zealand, everywhere we are talking this. It is not exclusively for India. Of course, India has an additional edge because we have more young students coming out of engineering, more opportunities, more startup ideas. So definitely, this is a low hanging fruit. No doubt, we are going to go big, right? Again, also, I wanted to emphasize more on women being interested in taking up cybersecurity roles. Now, um, there are there are platforms which encourage women to um, have cybersecurity as a career opportunity. People who have taken sabbatical and then they are encouraging them to learn new things and then get back to jobs. There are the demographic dividends that actually pay out where women are having an additional edge with respect to their thought process, their commitments, and all. So we have VSIS kind of platforms. If you go into LinkedIn and search, there are a lot of sessions where women in cybersecurity are the speakers from various organizations, explain how women are leading basically on this cybersecurity space. So we ourselves within Fortinet, we have our international cybersecurity advisor who is a woman and a lot of women leadership team we do have within Fortinet. Okay, so now I'll just quickly, you understood what is the demand from the market. You understood what Fortinet is all about. Now, how we are going to achieve this is through a certification program. Now, you all know practically having only a BTech degree is not enough. You need to have some additional skill set or additional advantage over your engineering degree, which you can achieve through the NSE certification. NSE is your network security expert certifications. So this has actually been bifurcated into 5 different domains. So you have right from fundamentals to associate, professional, and solution specialist. All these trainings have the relevant content what you're going to study in your engineering days. Let's say, for example, you have your computer networks subject or introduction to cybersecurity in your engineering. So you have whatever we discussed about totally what is a threat landscape, what is phishing, what is ransomware, what is malware, and how can you safeguard your network under these situations, and then how all this cybersecurity has I mean, how did it evolve basically, and then how do you identify yourself that you have been attacked or your account has been compromised. So these all aspects are actually taught in this module. Irrespective of whether you are technical, non-technical, I would suggest you everyone has to have this kind of knowledge, because now you said your everything is on mobile. Even for 10 rupees flowers, I use Google Pay. So definitely we need to safeguard our own credentials. We Anywhere we go, like we give our Aadhaar cards unmasked and we give our PAN credentials. After that, you get a lot of advertisement calls. This is all. We are giving our data to everybody and anybody, right? I hope your parents, you must be getting most of the calls from credit cards or like invest in stock markets or whatever, right? Real estate, whatever. That is because we are actually giving our own data. First of all, we should start our privacy from ourselves, right? We need to safeguard our own data, and then we look forward for thinking big, saving a total network, corporate network. So it is first our swadharma, which we need to safeguard ourselves first. So before that, you need to understand the entire threat landscape and how it all evolved. Now, where are we? And the technical introduction to cybersecurity. So whether you are an English lecturer, you should be learning this. An English lecturer, you should be learning this. That is important, and this has nothing to do with your technology part, right? Second one is the associate level course, which will talk about from an operator point of view, how can you configure a firewall? What is there in a firewall? First of all, what does it do? What kind of security features it will help you with, whether it is at a gateway level, then whether it will provide you application level security, data level security, and all that. So more or less, this is related to your computer network subject, which you are studying in your third year of engineering, right? The McGraw-Hill book, which you study, where you have TCP/IP protocols, OSI model, different topologies, your star topology, bus topology, etc., etc. So that all, after that, you are going to learn the um, operating of a firewall device, right? This is also not majorly technical, little bit technical. So even if you are into IT or non-IT, you can just look forward for it. But these two are the prerequisites which will make you ready for getting into a professional level. Okay. So now when we go into the professional level, we have three domains. We have now streamlined. Like for example, until 12th grade, you study all maths, physics, chemistry, and English, social studies, everything. And then you go into engineering, you pick up a separate stream like CSE, IT, ECE, and all that. So here the specialization comes in, where we say public cloud security as a certification, then network security as a certification, and security operations as a certification. So let's say if you want to think from a cloud solution point of view, or a cloud security specialist point of view, or a cloud architect point of view, this is the domain that will help you, which is like both in AWS and Azure environments. Now, if you want to make up your career in data science or big data kind of thing, and also have a cyber security or a security attached to your security flavor to your profile, then the security operations will be a good opportunity where you will understand, think like an analyst, data analyst, from a security orchestration point of view, from an administrator. I mean, you will also think like an administrator who is going to use the SOC operations. Nowadays, it is all SOC, NOC, like Network Operations Center, Security Operations Center. So that is in the rise now. And then if you want to be core network security specialist, then you're going to learn a 40 gate firewall. Then how does a 40 manager help you or network to manage multiple devices in your data center? And then you have a 40 analyzer administrator. You're going to use the data analytics part here. Then you're going to take 40 switch, connect it with your firewall. A switch and a firewall and a router are going to communicate, and then you're going to add wireless LAN features with your 40 access points. So it is core network security certification, right? Now, after this, it is like you go more deep into your certification. It's like after BTech, you choose to go to MTech or an MS in particular subject. So same way here, if you have taken network security there, you can go with a specialization on network security. If you have chosen cloud security there, here you're going to take public cloud security. Same way, like in operational technology security. And then these are all multiple layers of certification. There is no hard and fast rule that one needs to do only one certification or you need to only stick to one, because you never know where the opportunity is going to come from. It is always better to have a combination of multiple topics. These are all interesting because it will give you an exposure in terms of, like, all this while you are visualizing everything, right? After COVID, we are visualizing everything. Everything is on the cloud, right? So now this will give you an understanding about, at least you can have a touch and feel to the product or the firewall. Okay, you can understand, oh, my switch is connecting to a firewall and then a router. This is how a data packet travels. And then, this is all in binary, right? Ones and zeros. So from a physical layer point of view, what kind of security is there? From a data level point of view, the security. From an application level, security. All these things you will understand, you will learn on the go. Practically, you are going to see those exercises on labs. You're going to configure your own labs if you're interested. Using the VMs, you can configure your own labs and then start practicing. So I'll stop here and then I'm going to share you something interesting. Why do you want to learn all these things now? The interesting question is, if you can see, most of the board of directors actually are focused on cybersecurity now. And I'm going to share this data. So if you see, many organizations are now actually looking forward for hiring candidates with industry level certifications. And the demand in APAC is very high. I mean, all the locations, but region wise, this one, not this, yes. Okay, see, there are a lot of organizations which are okay to help you with the certifications, but they prefer to have required certifications ready. Like, you come up with the required certifications, right? This is one interesting data that Fortinet has brought out. We are yet to get our 2024 skill gap report, so which will tell about what is actually an organization's point of view, like what are the HR things in terms of before hiring a candidate. So you can see here, like in each region, challenges hiring from different groups, like from women, from veterans and minority groups. You can see here, just as an interesting read, you can just go through this. I'm going to share this. I wanted to actually show you one thing. Yes, this one. See, organizations worldwide value certifications. Prefer to hire certified personals? Yes. Most of the organizations will look forward for certified professionals. So that is where, actually, these are global certifications and these are high quality certifications. The moment you pass, that means that you have that kind of required skill set to manage that kind of network or manage that kind of infrastructure. So that is what they look forward, right? So I'm going to share this report. Just take some time and go through it. And one more interesting thing is, Why Fortinet? Why not others? Fortinet, out of its portfolio of 50 plus products, has got a very diversified portfolio of products which use generative AI. And in all domains, like from a 40 analyzer, which gives you a data analytics point of view, there is an AI influence to it. Same way from the SIM point of view or a security orchestration point of view, you will have more visibility in terms of what is AI's influence on cybersecurity. So it is not; these are not two different topics. These are going to go hand in hand. So this particular courses or certification programs that I have told you now are going to give you understanding about what is best suitable for you. How can you design your career? It is all in your hands. We can just give you some ideas like on the vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, and digital forensics. Those are some additional topics, but the mainly the what Fortinet actually aims at is to your core cybersecurity curriculum. So, okay, that's it from me. So, if you have any questions, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it on the chat. Before closing up, thanks so much. I would like to thank Giri sir, Mario, and Sharda, Punita for giving this opportunity. It was like a really good session. Of course, very silent crowd. I must say, unless and until I see the questions from the forum. But yeah, so please feel free to reach out and ask questions. Happy learning.
I think you could type it on chat as well. That, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. I think thank you, Mario and Kushala. It's definitely a great eye opener for many areas for the students. I'm sure there are a lot of faculty members also joined in this webinar. They are all the definitely ambassadors, who can help the students fraternity to guide them in the right path. Our ultimate aim is talent is everywhere. Right? It is not only in cities, it is everywhere. We want to take this knowledge to everybody, and people like you wholeheartedly said, yes, we will, help the students with a lot of information which is required. So, thanks for joining hands with us. Now it's time for asking questions to, the leaders, to shape up your career because, as slightly Kushala and Mario said, there is always a talent gap between the demand and supply in cybersecurity. Understanding the role itself is a complex thing. After understanding the role, they have to get into the right career path, okay, by completing and accomplishing a certification in cybersecurity, so that it is going to give a rewarding career for the students. Right now, I just request the students to ask more and more questions. You can either ask now, or probably I will take another 2-3 minutes to tell you guys what we are doing as a career take, in this cybersecurity space. Okay. So, yeah, there is one question. You can, answer. I will take this thing later.
Yes.
What are the core concepts to learn by cybersecurity enthusiast? First question. Second question is, what does the company want from us to become a SOC analyst? Right. Very interesting two questions. Yeah. So, Kushala, you'd like to take up the question?
Yeah. Okay. So first, I will address the SOC analyst part. Basically, SOC is like Security Operations Center. It's like you need to have a basic understanding about the CLI, the command line interface, or any OS that you're going to use. Like now, every product, probably let's say every product organization like Fortinet uses a 40 OS. So you need to understand, like if you want to go for Fortinet, then there is a command line, or most of the organizations have a GUI base now. um, Mario, please add your points to this if I miss on any. But definitely on the SOC side, you need to have a basic understanding on the expertise on to the CLI. And then the what do you say, protocol level information, and then little bit of TCP/IP understanding, right? Understanding uh, how to identify potential threats, and how do you respond, like the responsive time to the alerts that we are getting from like for example, I would say, as a user in Fortinet, I have an email which says, okay, Kushala, you have not completed your compliance training, please complete it before 30th June. And then there was a link. Seeing that email, I understood that it is not the general format that my training team sends me. But when I opened it on my mobile, I thought, okay, why suddenly I got this one? And I went ahead and clicked the link that they have given. And it showed me like, oops, you have compromised. And this is just a test phishing attack on your email, right? So first of all, seeing it when you know that it is an actual phishing email, you're about to create an alert. Basically, you have to create a fish alert within your team, and then understand that potential threat, and giving a response to that particular threat in a stipulated zero time. Basically, that's what, like, okay, as less time as possible. Okay, the SOC typically works with security analysts and the what do you say, well, data analyst, and then your exchange administrators, to understand the source of that particular threat. So these all are actually a part of a SOC analyst role. So whatever you name it, see the definition or the role name is going to be a SOC analyst, but the basics actually remain more or less into the fundamentals of what do you say, understanding the threat landscape, and so from like providing responses to certain threats and all that, right? So from a cybersecurity, this is from the SOC point of view. And then core concepts is your, like, you have to have good networking understanding about, like, total your computer networks as a topic, or um, for what is a, like, establishing a VPN connectivity now with virtual work from home, or virtual working infrastructure came into picture after COVID. There are a lot of organizations who are working in diversified environments from multiple locations. So they need to have a secure connection when they connect to a network, right? So you need to establish proper VPN connections, and then configuring IPsec VPN. So these are all the basic core concepts on the networking side. And then once you complete your basics from the network security point of view, you can think of, you can specialize more on from a cyber security point of view. The basics are going to remain same. Okay, what are the concepts to be learned to get into cloud? Cloud security actually gives you um, like if you have ever been into the AWS or Microsoft Azure standard kind of courses, introduction courses, it will give you exposure to some container stuff. I'm not that technical, but I can just try to give you a brief intro to it. So it will give you, like, from a user point of view who is using AWS infrastructure or an Azure infrastructure, and then putting up cloud security features on the network. Like for example, I'm an organization. I have actually hosted my infrastructure or data on the cloud. So how do I protect that data? How do I create security features to that data that it is not compromised at a gateway level? So those are from a AWS and Azure point of view. If you just go into training.fortinet.com page and you register as a public user, you can get into the course of Fortinet Certified Professional Cloud Security. In that, you have more in-depth information in terms of. Okay, I can show you this. We have time, so let me share my screen. So if you can see here, there are AWS Cloud Security Fundamentals. It will give you introduction to the AWS components, which is your container kind of stuff. And then how does Fortinet products and deployment work with AWS? They both do hand in hand. And then high availability features, load balancing on AWS, all these things. So these are the course concepts actually you can uh, understand. Same way, if you just go back here, you have something similar to that Azure Cloud Security. More or less, it is same, like which will introduce you to VNets, virtual machines, and then FortiGate VM, and then working in a high availability feature. So these are all like more towards deploying security features on an Azure environment. De- Deploying a VPN solution like which I mentioned in Azure environment, right? So after completing this course, what are you going to achieve? You are able to create a what do you say security feature on cloud, right? And then understand more on the cloud security point of view. Same way, if you just go here, we have something called Fortinet Certified Solution Specialist Public Cloud Security. So this is more in depth. Um, See, you have cloud shells, S3 bucket. I don't know if anyone is from third year and all, if you are able to correlate what you have learned, if anything, that from Azure Marketplace or the AWS place, if you can correlate, and this is related to what you have studied in AWS or Azure point of view. So this is a solution specialist level, which is little advanced level, right? So these are the topics that you can cover. What where are more questions? Okay, forensic side, I think Giri sir, you can highlight more, or Mario, because we don't have specific course related to digital forensic, but there is a topic that covers in the threat landscape part. It gives you an introduction to the
Sure.
threat landscape part.
Sure.
But there is no specific course exclusively on the digital forensics from the Fortinet point of view. It is covered as a topic, right?
Sure. Sure.
What does company need from us as a beginner? You should be a good learner. You should be committed to the organization for at least 2 to 3 years, where you understand the company organization structure and be a good learner. What are some best platforms we have to acquire these skill sets? The best platforms we have is whether you take Fortinet, whether you take CareerTiQ, they have their own respective learning portals, training.fortinet.com. These are self-explanatory pages. Now, if you go into the NASCOM Future Skills Prime page, there also you have a lot of courses. It is all like the more you learn, the more you are exposed to good opportunities. So right? Now, see, the thing is, way back 15 years ago, we didn't have an option of companies coming to engineering colleges doing campus interviews. We used to print our resumes. We used to go door to door looking for jobs. Now, the training and placement officers are actually doing exceptionally well in providing 100% job placements, trying to provide 100% job placements to their candidates. Same way, students are also understanding the importance of it, and then they're trying their best. I'm not saying everyone is trying to fit into that criteria, but definitely there is a lot of difference in mind share from last 15-20 years to now. Now you have more opportunities. Now you can make a living even if you are not rightly fit. That is today's situation. Come what may, you can easily get a 10-20,000 rupees job, but that is not what we want, right? We want a good career which will last long, which is interesting. You don't want to end up being a full stack developer or a software engineer doing the same thing for 20 years, and then you plan for, okay, I'm now overboard, I don't want to work anymore, I have done enough. You should not lose interest. You need to be more passionate about what you're doing. That's the reason you understand now what you like it, and then you start preparing your career, designing your own career. So now you take Fortinet, you take NASCOM, you take CareerTiQ. There are multiple platforms available which are giving you information. You need to understand what is best suitable to you. You have LinkedIn Learning, you have Microsoft Learning. Nobody is stopping you to learn. These are best platforms that we have, right? Okay, what are the concepts to learn as a beginner? As I told you, Fortinet Certified Fundamentals, Fortinet Certified Associate level, that those two are the best ones, which will not add additional burden on your academic curriculum, but will give you more insights from a bigger, a larger point of view. It will give you a wide exposure in what you are learning, why you are learning, and all that. Okay. My question is that your company is providing 50 plus products, other products in field. How company provides solutions to threats like cyber attacks, ensure secure and privacy of its customers? Okay, I don't know if I understand your question correctly, but yeah, 50 plus products is a combination of solutions. So it is no more a single device, a firewall, or a switch. It is totally like a solution. We don't sell products to the customer. Today, let's say one college is providing Wi-Fi um, network, and then you have students, hostlers, everyone connects to a campus Wi-Fi. They have separate set of rules. For students, they can't go into this website. For all, let's say, for example, in organizations, when you go, they can't open certain websites. There is no place for porn there, for example. So there is a lot of blockages, lot of safety measures, lot of what do you say, configurations and policies that have been written exclusively for department wise, and depending upon the need, like for example, you need a two-factor authentication. Today you see, you go open up a Google Pay, it'll ask you for a mobile 6-digit code, or and then an OTP. You want to download another, it'll ask you for an OTP. What are all these are two-factor authentications, and you tell me one organization which is not using it, and it can't be achieved with one single device or a solution, right? It is a combination of a firewall, it is a combination of a authenticator which is giving you de-factor authentication, two-factor authentication. You take me like Zero, the stock market platforms like your ICICI Direct or your Money Control, Funds or everything is actually having two-factor authentication, right? Every KYC now in your bank will ask you for a two-factor authentication. So it is all a combination of products. It is like which is, and all these tokens are not manually built up. Everything is automatically done, right? So you need app like 40 token, for example. In Fortinet, we call it as 40 token. And then we have a FortiGate firewall. We have a 40 manager, which will, let's say, for example, there's data center, which Cisco switches, HP switches, Juniper routers, FortiGate firewall. So do you think administrators will learn everything to manage all these devices? Not needed. They're all configured to a single management console, like something manager. And from there, from a single point of management console, he is going to control all these particular configurations, right? And then have security orchestration. These are all like, okay, the more you learn, the more you used to, first of all, you need to have that urge to learn things. There is available information on this particular topic. So try to understand where they are trying to guide you. And then the other products in field of cybersecurity, how company provide solutions to threats like cyber attacks. So there is a, okay, in one of my slide, there is a point which, okay, I can, there is a thing called 40 labs. So we have, okay, we have a it is not highlighted in this particular slide, but I can explain you. We have a 40 works on the landscape. So analyze the threats. Okay, so you can see this. This is the 40 guard labs, which actually understand the threat landscape. They analyze the threats and they probably rate it. That's the reason why I told you we work with a lot of organizations like your Interpol, the MITRE Ingenuity, these ones, Cybersecurity Policy Law, Cyber Threat Alliance. So these kind of organizations actually help us uh, differentiate the threats from their severity level. Okay, so and henceforth they ensure the privacy of customers. They give patches for the necessary threats that they have identified. Okay, this is one thing. Duty and sense of urgency on the job. This is good. Field also occupied by aims. What are the consequences to face the employees? Maybe Mario, sir, you want to add some point to this?
I will try to do that. I
Oh,
be
Sir, answer.
some things, yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, considering the fact that there are dozens of SIM tools in the market, how can a student prepare to adapt with the tools used by companies? Are they all similar tools? Okay, so it is like this. The fundamentals remain same. It is just going to be additional features involved in each and every product line. Let's say, for example, Fortinet has an overage in terms of a SIM solution compared to a competition product. Okay, so but the technology remains same. It is like your English still remains ABC, but depends on how you are going to use your language, right? So concepts would be same. Okay, when I talk with cybersecurity professionals, they always tell that cybersecurity companies don't want to hire freshers as they require experience. What do you want to say? Okay, this was answered.
Yes, I've answered that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm reading it late, but
No issues.
Or I could answer. I would say that I've answered.
Yeah, of course.
okay, I think yes, this is all done.
Correct. So, I think thanks, Kushala and Mario. I think very apt and very short answers the students get. If I have to add, few points, what we are doing at CareerTiQ is, I will start with the question um, that the freshers job opportunity in the market. Okay. We should understand the skill gap is the major concern in cybersecurity. All these years, the freshers are not getting cybersecurity jobs because every company requires qualified and certified professionals, right? Because cybersecurity is definitely a great, uh, department in any organization, right? The position called CISO, CISO, right? In every organization becomes very, very critical, right? Uh, Please Google it. Who are all the top CISOs? You can see Fortune 500 company, first Fortune company, Walmart, CISO, or let's take JPMC, JP Morgan Chase, which is the 23rd uh, ranked Fortune 500 company. Such a great organization. Their CISO job roles, it's a heartbeat, I should say, right? Something like similar to that, when somebody wants to have that kind of skills in an organization, they have to have required skills at an entry level itself. That is why companies are welcoming today. The purpose of this particular webinar is you should be aware that there are cybersecurity fresher jobs available. But if you want to get into that particular, job role, you should have hands-on skills, number one. Then you should have global certification, right? There are certain top-rated global certifications. Once you complete that, then you are eligible to apply for those jobs. But if you have to achieve those global certification level, companies like CareerTiQ can equip you more, right? So please remember hands-on skills and global certifications. If I have to request, Punita to share the global certification slide, it would be great. So the students will understand. As clearly mentioned by Kushala, we are the authorized academic partners for, Fortinet. We teach hands-on skills on cybersecurity, fundamentals level, associate level, professional level, solution specialist level of Fortinet concepts, make them completely, qualified and certified, right? And and while I'm answering some relevant, as I'm a final cybersecurity student, the certification is necessary. Like main certification are too costly, sir. What do you want to say on this? Okay, so that's why we are here. Everybody, Krishna. Uh, the cybersecurity training that we provide is definitely at an affordable cost, right? Definitely pocket friendly. Also, thanks to companies like Fortinet, they have given opportunity to us to take this program at a zero cost certificate, right? That is the great thing. So we charge students only the training cost. We don't charge the certification cost, which is actually $200. If you are from a corporate, if you have to get certified in Fortinet, you have to pay $200 for certification alone, right? So those who are really interested to join such kind of programs, in any level, it can be fundamentals, it can be associate, it can be professional. We will guide you properly. What are all the levels you have to achieve to get the cybersecurity job? Certification slide. See, at this point of time, So you can see Fortinet certification, IBM certification, CompTIA certification, UC Council certification. There are a lot of certifications. You need people like CareerTiQ to guide you in the right path. Right? We encourage students to discuss with us before you decide. Because we want to understand your career aspirations, which certification it has to be given to you all these things. We have experts in our system. We will definitely, reach out to you. You can call us. You can write an email to us. We will definitely give you the inputs. Not a problem. Okay. Coming back to the efforts what we are doing. Punita, can you please go to the previous slides in the colleges what we are doing? Previous. Our college association pictures. See, somebody was asking which are all the top organizations hiring cybersecurity talent. Yeah, go to the next slide. Go to the next slide. The company's slide. Yeah. So these colleges, for example, they have come forward, because we have done a demand versus supply analysis after connecting with all these companies. It can be Accenture, it can be TCS, it can be Infosys, IBM, Fortinet. All these companies we discussed and formulated a curriculum, right? With the help of people like Vishala, Mario, we created a curriculum. Then we started delivering this in colleges, right? Go to the previous slide. No, the colleges.
This one, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yes, Rotor. Yes, definitely. We encourage students to join us in internship, right? Definitely, you can write to info@careertic.com. All your inquiries. We encourage students to work with us, to learn from us, right? Absolutely, fine. We can help you out. And also, we will be sending you the detail after this webinar about the certifications what we are providing in CareerTiQ, which is going to be a digital, program. You can join those programs. It will be at an affordable cost. Okay. And also all the certification, through Fortinet, which is obtained through CareerTiQ. We assure that the hands-on skills as well as the global certification from, Fortinet. That's the benefit you get as a student. Okay. So please do that. And most welcome. We are ready to help you guys. Right? Yeah, go to the information slide. I mean, our contact information. Punita, if you have else. Okay, see, net, what we are saying is I should thank all the participants, learned academicians joined in this particular session. And heartfelt thanks to Kushala, Mario kind of people. Those have really taken uh, the noble cause of spreading the awareness about cybersecurity, spreading the awareness about their career, and also what kind of certifications will help the freshers to get jobs. Right? It is really amazing. Only thing is, your investment is more of your interest first, right? And that's very important. The more you come forward one step, we will help you coming forward with 5 steps. That's very, very important. There is a question by Yash, that if someone want internship level experience, which is very helpful for students, made hands-on experience with seniors. I mean, I'm not very clear about this question, but yes, internships are available with the top-notch organizations. Even when I was discussing with JPMC or Morgan Stanley, they said we are ready to take the students on internship for 6 months. Right? That's the best way to join in top organizations. So it's very important whether you are qualified before that. Right? So that's very important. So you will get an email about our course offerings, our certification offerings, and what is the cost, everything. So we are planning to start a batch in another, 10 days time. So once you complete this webinar, please either you can write to us or we will send out an email to you. What are the courses you can join and build your career in cybersecurity. Okay. Any questions? Any other questions? I mean, we are on time. So if you have any questions, please feel free.
One question from Mr. Muhammad.
What is that question? Sorry.
Read that question to us.
Can you please read that question?
Yeah, I think that hand is raised as well.
Mr. Muhammad Salman, you can unmute and speak, please.
All right, maybe he could write to us. He'll reply to the email is shared. Agree, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So great. I think it was a wonderful session by all of you. And we'll be more than happy to help any student or any institutions. We are doing a lot of programs in the institutions to help to get the career